Hello and welcome back to Winners and Losers, and we come to you after Argentina have just beaten Mexico 2-0 to keep their dreams alive of staying at this World Cup. That means that Mexico have now lost all four of their fixtures against Argentina at the World Cup. But I'm not a loser tonight because I'm joined by Henry Hill.
God.
How are you doing, Henry?
I'm better now that game's over, in all honesty. God, I thought the England-USA game was dull. That was difficult. That was a difficult match to sit through. And it's a shame, because the atmosphere at the start looked amazing in sort of the biggest stadium, I think, in Qatar. They really hyped it up, didn't they? Made a claim about it being a proper Boca-style game, which I think we can refute. But
except for the violence. There was quite a lot of violence on the pitch, which we will come to shortly. But I mean, it seemed that they were incredibly scared going to this match, Argentina and Mexico. Argentina, of course, had never lost their two opening games of a World Cup, and it looked like they were very keen to maintain that record. Messi making his 21st appearance at a World Cup, grabbed a goal and assist to make the difference. Matched Diego Maradona's all-time appearances at World Cups. But probably the most interesting thing about it was that it was a bit tasty.
yeah, I mean, it was riddled with fouls. I think I can say that pretty strongly. I mean, the first half, there was about 15 free kicks and 2 yellow cards handed out to the Mexican team. I mean, some serious challenges flying in on the players. And it ended with 34 fouls in total. An average Premier League game sees 20. So that gives you an idea of just how bitty this game was. Stop-start. Daniele Orsato, the ref from Italy, he had a tough job on his hands to kind of maintain the flow. And it did ruin it as a spectacle, because essentially there were two quality moments in this game and they were both goals. And that was it, really. I mean, I think you have to give Scaloni some credit for going to a 3 at the back in the second half when he basically realised that Mexico's attack was toothless and couldn't do anything. And that allowed him to push his sort of wing backs further up the pitch and sort of attack the Mexican back line a bit more. I think, when Romero came on, it changed it a little bit. But really, that was a good tactical switch. But really, the game was settled on two great moments, and Messi was central to both of those.
Yeah, he was. And I mean, the lineup did change pretty substantially. Obviously, we saw Leandro Paredes drop out and Papu Gomez. It was Alexis McAllister and Guido Rodriguez who came into midfield. And that seemed like a very clear sense that Scaloni wanted to gum up the centre of the pitch. You know, McAllister, you'd hope that he would develop creativity during his time at Brighton, but essentially what he is at the moment is a guy who runs a lot and stops things moving easily in midfield for the other side. Guido Rodriguez, primarily known as a defensive midfielder. And so it felt like their main aim here was to stop Mexico doing what they wanted to do. And they were pretty successful. Mexico had 0.1 XG in this game, but Argentina didn't produce much more than that themselves.
No, I think it was 0.28 in total.
Great.
Across the whole game. But yeah, I mean, listen, I want to give them a bit of credit. Messi, obviously, an exceptional in those moments. A great first finish. I can't believe the Mexicans gave him so much space on the edge of the box. But yeah, you can't take away that sort of first touch and finish. And then Enzo Fernandez coming on off the bench to score. And that really marks a great year. 6 months certainly for him. Obviously, he made a big name at River Plate, 21-year-old, then moved to Benfica in the summer, and he's been an absolutely huge hit with the Portuguese club, who I think is still unbeaten, if I'm correct.
Probably.
Competition this year, absolutely rolling over everyone. But yeah, he leads the Primera Liga for progressive passes and passes into the final third. I think over the last year, he's been averaging 96 passes per 90, which is...
Seems good.
To average that, it seems pretty nuts. And yeah, to mark his sort of international debut at a World Cup with a goal like that, a really memorable finish against Ochoa, who couldn't get the better of yet another team despite his great efforts over the years. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. But I mean, the rise of Fernandez could mean the downfall of Rodrigo de Paul, who's had another bit of a stinker, in all honesty. Not gone down well on football Twitter.
I mean, did he go down well anywhere? I mean, it was like all round a horrible performance. Because the thing is, nobody had more touches for Argentina except for Otamendi. So De Paul was the guy who was meant to be running stuff in midfield, but it just felt that whenever he got on the ball, everything went wrong. There was one bit in the first half where he went on a little bit of a run, kind of burst through some space, and then immediately passed it out of play to nobody. Looking at his stats in this game, 0 shots, 0 dribbles, 0 key passes, 0 tackles, and 1 interception. Not good stuff for him. But frankly, Mexico were even worse. I mean, they haven't scored in their last 3 matches in the World Cup. They only created 0.7 XG against Poland. So across 2 matches this tournament, 0.8 XG.
Yeah, it's not great at all. And when you saw the starting lineup, you already got the sense that they were going to just try and hit Argentina on the break. He went to
Yeah.
a 5-3-2 from a 4-3-3, which he deployed against Poland. That's Gerardo Martino. The Argentinian manager in charge of Mexico added a bit of spice to that. And yeah, he benched Edson Alvarez and brought in a 36-year-old Andres Guardado. He didn't last particularly long in the match, off before half time. And yeah, I mean, their best attempt in the whole game was a free kick, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which Emi Martinez made a bit more of a dramatic save from. 4 shots in total. Their last attempt was in the 47th minute. They just looked toothless, really. I mean, Lozano worked as hard as he possibly could, running the wings, but often he was just found with no one else around him. I mean, Vega, I don't think really offered him much help at all up front. And then Raul Jimenez, I'm sorry to say, he's just not the same player he used to be. I'm not quite sure what Martino's meant to do, if he just doesn't have the quality at his fingertips. Like, if they're suggesting that this is going to be a big judgment of his sort of tenure in charge of that the side, what's he meant to do with the side if they don't have the personnel to go out and really mix it up against the best teams in this competition? Because as you said, 2 performances against Poland and Argentina where they produced pretty much nothing. I mean, 3 out of their 15 crosses even finding a man is really poor, because that just shows that they're sort of running out of ideas down the back stretch of that game. And they completed 2 dribbles all night, and both were by a centre-back, Montes. So yeah, it was a really... I'll be honest, if Mexico don't get out this group stage, I'm not going to cry about it at all. I'm not sure what they're really offering. They've got to, let's bear in mind, they've got to the last 16 for 7 World Cups in a row. And there have been times where they've looked like they could go a bit further. But this really isn't the year for them. I think they need to build. There's so many old players in this squad, aren't there? Hector Moreno, Hector Herrera in midfield. Guardado still doing it. Ochoa's like 37 at the moment. So I think Mexico just need a total refresh. And I'm backing Saudi Arabia to get a result against them, because I think Saudi Arabia did look good in their defeat to Poland at the start. A lively start. Obviously, Szczesny's pulled off that incredible double save to keep it at 1-0. Then Lewandowski's pounced on a mistake to make it 2-0. Saudi Arabia looks okay, and they've got a massive opportunity to beat Mexico and get into the next round. And I don't think their defence will fear coming up against that Mexican attack.
No, I don't think anyone would fear coming up against this Mexican attack. But at least you'd hope that in the next game, Martino will say, we need to just get some more guys forward. It felt like in this match, they kind of recognised that Argentina were playing a conservative game and thought, you know what, maybe this is a situation where playing for a draw might actually work. But when they went that goal behind, they didn't have another gear to go to, and that's the real concern about them. Fortunately for them, there's still everything to play for in the group, because it could come down to goal difference. Poland's victory over Saudi Arabia puts them top. They're on 4 points. If they get a point against Argentina, they're guaranteed to go through regardless of what happens. Argentina will look to beat them to guarantee their place. Mexico could beat Saudi Arabia, go to 4 points. That would, I guess, put them through...
I think they'd have to really smash Saudi Arabia to get anywhere close to it, with a -2 goal difference at this point in time.
God, this is bad stuff. This is actually really bad stuff. Yeah, okay. I don't know, if they beat Saudi Arabia and Poland beat Argentina, won't Poland and Mexico go through? I think they will.
So because you said to me before the show, you did not think that Poland were going to beat Argentina. I reckon that Poland could get the better of them, having seen what I've seen over the last 2 games.
Argentina will be really going for it though. Like, they've got to win, and having had this win, I think it will make a difference for them. I think they'll be better off. Today they went out and they played not to get beaten. I think if Argentina go out and play to win, we'll see a better Argentina, because actually today's performance, I thought, was significantly worse than the Saudi Arabia performance that they had. In the Saudi Arabia game, they put up over 2 XG. They limited Saudi Arabia to 3 shots. They got unlucky that 2 of those shots are right in the corner. That's just how it goes sometimes. They pressed really hard. In this game, they did nothing. Even Messi didn't really do anything except for 1 goal.
Yeah.
Like, his assist was just passing it to a guy from a corner. So, I don't know. Who knows who's going to go through from this? Let us know who you think will make it through in the comments below. Obviously, none of them deserve to. And we will catch you next time on another Winners and Losers.